And hello to the first episode of Conversations with Alyssa, and it's called that because I'm Alyssa, and we're
I
having
know that's right.
conversations, right? Because I'm Alyssa. My new tagline is "Healing isn't always pretty, but it makes for a good story." So if you are here
Mhm.
for a polished story or something perfect, then you are in the wrong place. But if you are here for a little growth, a little truth with some punchlines, then welcome. This is the very first episode, and this is my very first guest on the episode. I am so elated to have her here. We've been trying to make this happen for what, about a year or so?
Yes, a long time. A
We're
long
trying to make
time.
her. I know we've been trying. So she is author, host, mother, woman extraordinaire. She hosts the Sip and Chat podcast on Facebook Live, which we're gonna talk about that because she has a bravery on a level that I cannot even imagine. And she is also an author. So you know it's amazing when you can put your thoughts, your feelings into words and cascade it out to other people. I am honored and welcome Shay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
I,
thank you, thank you. That was the introduction.
I mean, I feel like I still didn't really capture it, but we will before the podcast is over, before this is over. We'll deep dive, swim back up and swim back down, deep dive again. So, you being the host of the Sipping, first tell us about yourself before we even get into the podcast.
Okay,
What do you want us
so
to know?
like you said, I am Shay Parker. I have hosted a podcast called Sip and Chat. It was pretty successful, and I say was because I took a pause,
Mm-hmm.
for a minute,
I find it. Mhm.
and an awesome experience just with going live and in front of the camera, hosting a group of people, um,
So brave.
having like views of 2.7K, things like that. And we'll get into that or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, I am a mother of two, a daughter that is 19, my son is 22. And yeah, I've written a book about sipping
Yes.
tea, and we'll definitely get more off into that as well and how that whole thing came about. I'm also a life coach,
Wow.
behavior specialist.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, yeah, all those good things. So, yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. We first met when we did the Women of Podcasts of W.O.P thing where Kevin Marshall, shout out to Marshall Media. Kevin, I know you're recovering, praying for a speedy recovery, strength, and
Yeah,
full
yeah.
restoration. So he first put a group of women who podcast and put us all together, and
Mhm.
Shay and I were two of the women, and also Rael and Latanya and Kat. Hey, ladies,
Yes.
I need to
Hey,
get you all on here. I know Latanya busy though. She busy than a one-legged man in a butt kicking
oh,
contest.
yeah,
She's
seriously.
busy, but yeah, she's doing good with her media. But we first met, and I don't think we've ever met in person. We're from the same hometown, but we haven't. I don't think I've met any of you all in person.
Mm-mm. No.
But we have an amazing sisterhood. But one of the things that I did discover was about your podcast, and I went back and watched a record. It was after it had went live. I didn't watch when it was
Mhm.
live, and I went where you and you had a male guest, and you guys were talking, and then people started coming in and commenting, and you guys kind of engaged with the conversation as the comments were coming in. Something I don't have the nerve to do. I went live once with Astonishing Figures. Hey, Astonishing Figures. And my nerves were shaking the whole time. They were just tight. So, kudos to you for being brave enough to
Thank
go
you.
live. So, tell us, how did you get started with your podcast?
Okay, so never thought in a million years that I would be a content creator. Never thought that I would be in front of a camera live. None of that. So it was on purpose, but it wasn't on purpose. That makes
Mhm.
sense. So I was always camera shy. If it was
Really?
a Polaroid or a recorder, I wanted nothing to do with the camera. And one day I had one sister holding me and the other sister trying to take a picture of me. Boy, I was so mad. And my sister was like, what's going to happen when it's your time and we don't have no pictures to put in the program? You know, it was a hee hee ha ha. But you know what? That hit. It
Yeah.
like, wow. So I said to myself that that was a giant that I wanted to face because it was really crippling. Like I wanted nothing to do with pictures. I was very serious about that. Being in front
Really?
of the camera and everything, like paralyzed and camera shy. And so I had came home from vacation and I was on the phone with my good friend and she was saying something about a song called You Hurt Me, but You Don't Get to Keep the Pieces. That thing did
Ooh.
something to me. And we
Ooh.
had this long, drawn out conversation, and I was like in the vein, and I'm just talking. You could have called me a minister at that time. I was preaching, honey. So I said, other people need to hear this.
Mhm.
I was trying to kill two birds with one stone. I was so excited to where it distracted the fact that I had a paralyzing fear to be in front of the camera. I went live. Yeah. I went live, spoke about the topics. People started coming in and I started to get comfortable.
The
Right.
engagement of it all.
The
Mhm.
engagement of it all. It took
Mhm.
away the fear. You know, I had my little cup like I do right now. Sit there. And think about it. When we get together, you know, females, we get together, we, you know, have our little lemonade, tea, whatever you decide,
Mhm.
you know, you want to
Mhm.
sip on it, whatever.
And
Everybody,
staying out is there.
see what I'm
Mhm.
talking about?
Mhm.
And everybody gets comfortable
Mhm.
and we start talking. Start
Mhm.
pillow talking, even though everybody's sitting up. You know what I mean?
I
So,
like that.
so like that was the start of. I'm like, you know what? I was always told that I have engaging conversation,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
because I jumped in front of the camera without thinking about it or anything like that, I felt like this is my healing, right? Now I'm gonna say this. Don't get it twisted.
Mhm.
Every time before it was time to hit that live button, oh, my nerves was bad. I'm talking about it felt like I was about to have an anxiety attack and everything. And when I would tell people, they couldn't believe it. Because once I hit the button, it was over.
Yeah.
It was, hey, it's
Yeah.
action, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
Um, and so once the people started coming in, started engaging, and I had people that wanted to come up, and then it started getting real serious because the topics were so relatable. You
Mhm.
know, I didn't talk for the sake of talking. I'm a deep person to
Yeah.
begin with, so we're not having no surface conversation.
Right.
You know, so those conversations pull the people in, and I really forgot that I was live and
It's that
everything just
way.
flowed.
So you're
But I,
just by nature an excellent conversationalist, as my
man,
cousin says. Yeah. Hey, Erica.
yeah.
My cousin said it. Mhm.
So that's what did it for me. Am I 100%? No, but I'm
No.
further than where I was. I will I will say that.
You're
So
healed-ish, like
yeah, there you go.
healed-ish. Which
Yes.
is funny because that was originally when I said I was going to change the name of the podcast. That was my first go-to, healed-ish. And I looked and someone else had the name. So I'm like, can't do healed-ish.
Hmm.
So I was like, well, what can I do? What can I pick up? And then I started using AI to try to get, but yeah, healed issues. And we're all there. That's why I keep saying like
Hmm.
healing isn't always pretty, but it
No,
makes for a good story. It isn't always pretty. It's not always done. It's not overnight. Sometimes
it's a
it's a
process.
process.
It's a process because I'm gonna
It's a
tell you, every
process.
time I sat down, even it was like a year, 2 years, I still had that
Hmm.
discomfort. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But it had gotten to the point to where, like I said, once I started engaging, you know, the anxiety went down or whatnot. But every Monday night was like the first time. Kid you not.
Really? You had
Yes.
no, but the initial fear of going live, what was it? Was it just knowing that you're on camera, being viewed, being watched, eyes on you?
All of that. I'm gonna tell you how it had nothing to do with podcasting. It had nothing to do with the views or anything like that. I'm gonna tell you how
Mm.
innocent I was about this. As time went on, after different shows and things like that, I would get calls, be like, "Girl, you know how many views you got?" I'm like, "Huh? What you mean views?"
You.
Never crossed my mind because I'm so genuine with the
Mhm.
conversation and I wasn't
Mhm.
in it for that. So it wasn't structured. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So when I looked and saw the huge views,
Mhm.
right?
The
Check this out.
analytics of it, yeah.
Because when you podcast and you get excited about that type of stuff, right?
Mhm.
Girl, I got nervous. I said, these people looking at me. Oh my God. I mean, it was overwhelming for me because keep in
Mhm.
mind, initially, this was just me opening up, having conversation to fight a giant of
Mhm.
being comfortable in front of a camera.
Mhm.
So I wasn't like, oh my God, that's cool. We need to celebrate this, that, and the other.
Right.
I got nervous because I had all these people looking at me. So yeah, I got past that. But I never, ever, ever, ever thought about the viewers having that many views and, other things coming out of Sip and Chat.
Do
And
you consider it now? I'm sorry, go ahead.
again, like Sip and Chat, where the name of it came from, because it wasn't even a name. It was just me
Talking.
going live, like talking. So yeah.
Mhm. Do you consider it now? Like, do you think about, okay, when I do this now, the people that may see it or watch it, or, the impact you may have, like, okay, I got to be mindful not to say this because initially you say you hit record and you talk, but are you much more mindful now saying, okay, well, there are people who are watching, is this many people may be watching it. So let me kind of edit myself or, make
You
sure that
know
I'm saying
what?
the right thing, be politically correct, and find the right wording to convey my feelings and thoughts.
I'm super blessed because I never ran into that issue.
Ah,
Never. And you would think because you're live, right? So
mhm,
that was never an issue for me initially. So I know I haven't given that a lot of thought. It's like when some of the viewers were kind of going left, I clean house and said, that's not what we do over here,
and that's why I
So
don't go live.
yes, yes. So I mean, other than that, like me having to like backtrack and this, that, and the other, I didn't have that. I didn't have that issue.
See, and I always fear that. That's one of my fears of going live. I want to make sure that I don't say anything off the top of my head or out of my heart. I always had two rules about doing this podcast. Don't speak on anything that's happening right now. So most things
Mhm.
I talk about are years old, and don't do it when you're emotional. Don't do it, which is funny because the very first episode I did because I was emotional. It was kind of like I was ticked off about something, and I was like, forget it. And like much like you, I did it. But the first episode, actually the first season, you couldn't see me. It was just an audio podcast.
Mm,
There was no video whatsoever. It was
okay.
just me talking, and like you say, it's a conversation, and
Mhm.
the majority of my episodes is me talking to myself.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
And I can see that. I never went live if I was in my feelings about
Yeah.
anything. I would cancel or
Hmm.
because then it's
Hmm.
definitely unpredictable
Hmm.
what may come out and whatnot. So if I was having, one of those days, then yeah, it was canceled. So I will always try to make sure that my energy was good
Hmm.
and that, the atmosphere of the live itself, like good vibes, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
that's what made it like comfortable and a really good flow.
Good. Is it the podcast before you took your hiatus? Did it become the podcast that you wanted it to be, or did you just allow it to grow legs and run in whatever direction that it ran, and you just kind of went with it? Like, did
Mm,
you pre-select your topics, or did you just say, "Let me just go live and see what conversations come up, what engagement leads me, where
no.
engagement leads me?"
I've done that a couple of times.
Mhm.
It's like, I'm just gonna go live and get the vibe of the people and see, what they want to talk about. Kind of like back in the day when you were in elementary, you had Cook's Choice. Cook's choice for lunch. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would go off the vibe of the people, and when they came into the room, see what direction that they wanted to go in. That didn't happen often though,
Mhm.
because uh, how I got my content was everyday living. Like something can happen at work. A
Mhm.
conversation a coworker and I had, and was like,
Mhm.
man, the people really need to hear this. Or
Yes.
I would have something that I think I'm gonna talk about, and probably like 30 minutes before I went live, it switched.
Oh.
So nothing was ever like rehearsed.
Mhm. No
Nothing was ever
structured
rehearsed.
topic. It was
It was-
just like of the day, of that at that
Mhm.
moment.
Yes, it was coming straight from the heart. And then
That's
boom,
admirable.
it flowed. Yeah.
That's
It flowed.
admirable.
So nothing was coming, like nothing was structured other than me structuring the room. But as far as me like writing out a schedule, this day, that day, no, because when you get the feel of the people, whatever you had planned may not be the plan for that particular time. And so I was
Right.
sensitive to that.
Yeah, because once you open it up, whatever's on their heart and mind, they're going to feed into your engagement. I get it.
Hmm.
I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but I don't think maybe I am a bit of a control freak. I need to have a certain level of control with the editing, just in case I say something out of emotion,
I get it.
not
Hmm.
thinking, in case I call a name, because even with all the dating history, with the exception of my ex-husband, I didn't speak anyone's name. I kept all
Hmm.
of them as anonymous. I gave enough details that when they heard it, they knew it was about them.
Right.
But if you didn't know, you may not have known. There are a few people like, oh, is that so and so? But no. And that was on purpose. It was intentional because it's
Hmm.
my story that I'm telling.
Yeah.
They
Right.
may not choose to have their story told, but I'm
Hmm.
telling my perspective. So that was just my thing. So while we're talking about the things that going on, what keeps you strong as a woman? Where do you find your strength?
Yeah. What keeps me strong is a positive mindset. That
Mm,
is everything. And I think a lot of us take that lightly.
yeah.
Um, but in every trial and tribulation that I have gone through, it
Hmm.
really was my positive mind how I made it through. Because if I just really looked at everything at once that I was going through, what I was facing, this, that, and the other, I know I wouldn't have made it. I would not have. But no matter what it looked like, I knew I
Hmm.
was going to get past it. I knew I was going to get through it. And so, I mean, those are the times where people have no idea what you're going through because the energy is good. The energy
Yeah.
remains positive,
Yeah.
um, not looking like what you're going through. All those things. Like, always just show up for yourself, even when it's hard. Now, it's easier said than done. And I
Hmm.
know because I done been there.
Hmm.
But that's the battle. That's the
Hmm.
battle right there that you need to win. Show up for yourself,
Right.
you know,
Right. Hmm.
and that's what has kept me strong because people waver just to say, depend on somebody to be there to help you, to lift you up, and this, that, and the other. Don't go down that
Hmm.
rabbit hole. You may not come back out.
I know. I
Yeah.
know. You
Hmm.
can't. I mean, you can have those that you kind of just lean a little bit. I feel that way too. Like I think it's maybe one. My mom is my one that I can actually say that's my
Hmm.
rock. That's who I can lean on. That's who I completely trust to lean on. But
Right.
everybody else, people have to do what they feel is best for them. So I let them go
Yeah.
on and do what they feel is best for them. So, and speaking of being a mom, what
Mhm.
has been your biggest challenge as being a mom and a wife? I mean, a woman and a mom. How do you balance saying, okay, this is what I need to do as my role as a mother, but this is what I need to do for me so that I'm good with me to be the best mother, so that I can be the best coworker, the best friend, the best cousin, the best sister. What's been your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge. That's a good question.
Like, what's the thing that sometimes gets in the way of you balancing and looking out for you versus looking out for the kids, being the
Okay,
mom?
so I must admit that 99.9% of the time it was about the kids.
Mhm.
So I didn't have that balance because it's whatever they needed, you know,
Mhm.
whatever they wanted, whatever they were going through. I was always available for
Mhm.
them. So
Mhm.
I was put on the back burner,
Mhm.
you know.
And I
So
had, yeah, yeah.
you know, to juggle that is hard. And I feel
Mhm.
like they didn't ask to be here. So this is my responsibility. But
Right.
it was never challenging. I really and truly like being there for my kids, I think kind of saved me
I can
mentally.
relate. I can
You know,
relate. Yes.
yeah. So it's like that was my strength, just to be there for them and to, you know, navigate them through life and life situations and things like that. Now, after everybody became of a certain age and we talking
Mhm.
about college and things like that, is my
Mhm.
time. You
Mhm.
know, and one of the hardest things for me was when they got to that age because I was so used to being there and I
That's
didn't
the
have to
challenge.
be there as much. And
That's
so
the big
when
challenge.
everything kind of when a disconnect happened, it's kind of like,
Yes.
ooh, like you feel that breeze. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it wasn't necessarily a challenge for me, more
Mhm.
so than me just feeling like I'm doing what I was put on this earth to do. I feel like being a parent is the most important job that you'll ever have in your entire life.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I took it seriously. And so,
Did you
yeah,
have
I
did you find
did.
it challenging to reimagine, like you say, after they hit a certain age where they become young adults and you don't
Mhm.
have to, to pack the lunch and go to school and practice and pick up and, did you find it to be challenging to reimagine your life and your schedule and your day to day because you no longer had to do that as the mom? So when you have this newfound available time because you don't
Mhm.
have to do all the running around, how did you feel that time that once belonged to children and schedules and pickup and drop off at school and homework and
It felt empty. It
yeah.
felt like, you know, where you have all this traffic going on in your head
Mhm.
and in your life and
Mhm.
this way, that way. And then,
Mhm.
you know, kids been into sports and music lessons and this, that,
Mhm.
and the other. And now all of a
Mhm.
sudden, it's like,
Yeah,
hey,
right.
you know what I mean? Like, can I adopt a kid? Like, what's going on? Because, you know, it's like, no, 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 no. Now it's time for you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so I didn't stay there long. I didn't stay there in that mindset long. It really like everything was aimed towards me, like, okay, Lachey, now it's your time. Now,
Mhm.
you know, it's your time to focus on you a huge percentage of the time. And I did that. Um,
What was the first
I
thing you did for you when you had this newfound available time? What was the first thing you went like, this is for me, just for
mm,
me to
went
enjoy,
I
to
went
make
out of
me better?
town. I had a
Mhm.
little vacation. I had to go through a lot of self healing because I
Yeah.
realized that even in the process, I lost myself. I didn't know who I was outside of
Mhm.
those titles.
Mhm.
So I had to learn me
Mhm.
because I didn't know what I liked. I didn't really know what I wanted. I
Yeah.
didn't know how to be there for me. And I didn't realize how much I neglected myself
Yeah.
until that moment had happened. And so I did. I went through a long process of healing
Yeah.
because it was a lot of places that, because I was focused with being a mom, that I neglect myself and
Mhm.
where I should have been mentally and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. That like you say, it's a wind when you're like, okay, I don't have to do all this running around. What do I do? What do I do now? So,
Mhm.
speaking of raising the children, you have a young man and a young lady. So do I.
Right.
What have you discovered to be the main difference between raising a young lady and
Mhm.
raising a young man? Or did
So,
you? Yeah, go ahead.
raising a young man,
Mhm.
kind of like tough love, you know, like, okay, graduation, now college, uh, the disconnect hurt, but it was like, go ahead. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because you got to stand on your own and, this, that, the other. Now, mama, I'm always here for when he, need a
Mhm.
listening ear. But for the most part, I feel like I kind of like, I ain't gonna say threw him out, but
Mhm.
kind of like pushed him out. Now the daughter, a little bit more gentle. Like, hold on. Now, even though she the baby, I think it's more so because she's a female. Now, I would say this in a difference, between the two. Like, I at third grade for CJ, and I think probably like sixth grade for D, I started teaching them how to cook.
Okay.
Right. And right now, today, they are amazing cooks. And I told CJ, you never have to wait for a woman to cook when you hungry. And I told D, you never have to wait on a man to decide when he gonna take you out to eat.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so I think that is a perfect example of the difference between raising that male and raising that female.
Now it's so funny because I did the exact opposite. I think I coddled my son and I
Mhm,
toughened my daughter, which now I was having a conversation with somebody about that earlier today. Like my daughter is she's very spoiled, but she's very hard. She's
mhm,
just like, she's if I start to cry on the phone, she's like, "Oh, I need you to stop that." She doesn't like to cry. She's very
mhm,
tough. She's just, kind of. But my son a little more, and he's still that's my roommate. He's still
mhm,
here. That's my roommate. My daughter. I didn't kick her out, but I told her she needed to go away to college. I need you to go away to college because there are some skills that you have undeveloped. But I sent her back home
mhm,
where she could still have a safety net in case of emergency. You would be there with your daddy and your grandma and cousins and aunts and uncles and things like that.
mhm,
But you still need to live independent because I need you to develop these skills and be tough. I didn't do that. I didn't do that with my son,
mhm.
and he's here. But I don't know. I gotta do some revisionist revisionist work with that one. But I just the complete opposite. And I think it is I fear that he he can cook. He can clean. He can do his own laundry. He's a mechanic, so he can fix his
Mhm.
own car and fix mine too. But I
Oh, that's
worry,
good.
yeah, it's so good to have a certified mechanic in the house. Believe you
Mhm.
me, he needs to do oil change tomorrow on my truck. So, but
Wow.
that's the thing. I try to um, prep him to live on his own, but I didn't
Mhm,
force him to live on his own. And
mhm,
and even though he makes enough money where he can live on his own,
mhm,
but and she does too. But I went the complete opposite. I
mhm,
was softer with him, tougher with her. Now, her personality is harder too. My daughter
mhm.
is the person who will double down. So if she says something, I go, "Well, what did you just say to me?" She doubled down on it and say, "I said, but I'm sorry if it made you feel bad." What did
No.
you just say? Her thing is, "I'm sorry if it made you feel bad." Where my son be like, "Respectfully, mom." This
Mhm.
is what I'm saying, respectfully. Hers
Right.
is not it's not disrespect, but hers, she's just a little tougher than
Mhm.
my son. So I get it to a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with CJ, because he had a full ride scholarship and
Mhm.
all these things or whatnot, so I didn't have time to, like, not want him to leave and this, that, and the other. Because I'm telling you, it was like a losing Isaiah scene when he had to go, for real, for real. But at the same time, I know that he was the one that needed to get out there,
Mhm.
experience the world and
Yeah.
things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And D that'll happen, but I think, hers just needed, more
Mhm.
time.
More time.
So
Yeah. I get
mhm.
it. And it's an
Yeah.
individual thing where you know your children, like, okay, this one a little more time, this one
Mhm.
you can kick out the nest.
Mhm.
What thing have you learned about yourself in being a parent that you didn't realize about yourself?
Okay, I can't say that I didn't realize that I knew all these things. I am a nurturer to my heart. Like these kids be 50 years old, and to me, they still my babies. And I think we all have that as a
Yes.
mom.
Yes.
Um, like my love for them is unconditional.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
think every parent should have that as well.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I don't play with them. Hard.
Mhm.
With all those lovely things, no, we ain't doing that. Don't play with me.
Mhm.
Who raised you? Where that decision come from? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, I just realized that I am that parent that wear a lot of hats. And because it was done for so long, I know which hat to wear at what time.
Got you. Got you.
Mhm.
So, and speaking on being a single parent, here's the next question. What lessons did you learn from divorce? And are you open to love again and getting married again?
What lessons did I learn from divorce? Um, or what lessons did I learn from being married? Anyway,
That's a good one too. I like that one
yeah,
even better.
I I learned that, well, I'll just say for me as a woman, you know, I had this whole thing which is love, 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 love to where I was delusional. You know what I'm saying? The love that I was given, I felt like it was coming back and it was, but it was the overflow of the love that I was given was coming back to me like a boomerang effect. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
And that was hard to come to that realization that wow, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so like me going through a divorce, I learned that I all that love and that energy and everything that I needed to pour into myself because
Mhm.
I was looking for it to come from somewhere else. And
Mhm.
had I not stepped out of the frame and looked back into it, I would have
Yeah.
never known that.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
hard to see a picture when you're in it. It's
Mhm.
very difficult to see a picture when you're in it.
It's very difficult to see. And so I think that was one of the major things that I had learned, being in a relationship for so long at a really early age or whatnot, I really didn't get a chance to experience a lot by myself,
Mhm.
and so
Mhm.
I kind of like had to recreate myself like
Yeah.
after the divorce because again I'm starting to learn who I am and what I need to grow and what I need to do for myself to become that woman that I knew I could be.
Does love look differently to you now? Like prior to divorce, you had a concept of what love is, what it
Mhm.
looks like, what it feels like. Now that you're a little older, more mature, on the other side of marriage not continuing for eternity, do you have a different look of what love looks like now? Because you say you married so young, like that was your what, first boyfriend? Ooh,
Yeah.
child. Ooh, child. Me, you, and Larissa.
Yes.
We just, but
Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's the purest form because you don't have an idea of what it's supposed to look like or what
Mhm.
it's supposed to feel like. It's just in its purest form. And then later on, as you mature and say, okay, I need this for me, I need to give this to
Mhm.
them. You have an idea of what love looks like. This is from my perspective. So, do you
Mhm.
have an idea of what love looks like now?
I do. Um, Back then it's just, love, love, love the best way you know how. I understand now that not everybody have the same level of love and that
It doesn't look the
people can
same.
only love you with the love that they
They
have.
know
Hmm.
what
Like you
they know
said,
how.
they know how, and realizing that it wasn't enough for me.
Mhm,
I didn't know that then.
mhm.
I just figured everybody loved on the level that I did, and that was so not true.
No,
And
no.
then also like the maturity of
Mhm.
being a young adult,
Yeah,
everybody is not on the same mature level to understand that this takes work. This
yeah.
isn't oh you cute, I do, you do. You know what I'm saying? And now
Mhm,
we go
mhm,
together. You know, will
mhm,
you marry me? Okay. You
mhm,
know what I'm saying? Like
mhm,
it's way more than that. Like every day you have to work towards being together. You have to
mhm.
compromise everybody involved. And when you are in tough situations or whatnot, those are things, you know, you should be able to work through. But being that young and not understanding who I am, he not
Mhm.
really understanding
You
who
don't know what you don't know.
you don't know. You
Mhm.
don't know. So, I mean, girl, my maturity level, my love bank is is full. You hear me? So I will say this. Being divorced or whatever, I looked at some things and was like really messed up, but I didn't have the woe is me mentality. I didn't. Whatever happened, happened. I have no regrets. I love purely, you
Yeah,
know, that was what it was. I still believe in marriage because I believe
that's
that
the next
it's
question.
not
Mhm,
the marriage, it's the people.
mhm,
And when you come into contact with your person, the right person,
mhm,
it can work. It can
mhm.
work. So I'm not bitter at all. I don't have a negative outlook on marriage and or anything like that. And like I said, I believe that I have more love to give now than even then. So yeah.
Because the maturity has been added in. Yeah,
Hmm.
I say that it's the partnership of it, or
Yeah.
even just getting with a partner. What your idea, what love looks like to you, may not be what love looks like to them. And I always say people are shaped by two things: one, how they were raised, the environment that they grew up in, and two, their experiences
Yeah.
and what they've experienced over time. So if you were raised in a particular environment and you along your experiences they come along, it kind of shape your view of what you think love and partnership look like. I keep saying I'm
Hmm.
just a big proponent for partner. I'm a
Hmm.
divorcee, and I'm just like partnership is it. I need somebody
Yes. Yes.
if I'm doing this, you doing this. If I'm going to the kitchen, hey, you want something from the kitchen before I go? And if
Hmm.
you coming home from work at night, you stopping at the gas station and call to say, hey, I'm at the gas station. Do you want anything? No. Are you sure? No. Or I'm running out
Yes.
to the store. Do you want me to bring you
Hmm.
anything back? It's kind of the consideration of another. And I
Yes.
know like I said, I married my second boyfriend. We got there, we had that, but initially you don't. You have that just me, the me
Hmm.
mentality. So I
Yeah.
can't imagine when you young, like how you was young, you was young. You a baby.
I was just about to say a whole baby.
You a
Yeah.
baby, you
So
don't know.
nobody pulled my coattail and said, "Baby, that not right now. That ain't what you want to do."
So here's a question.
Yes.
And then after this question, we're going to jump into your book because I want to know more about your book.
Okay.
How do you incorporate God into your day to day living?
Oh, that's easy. I talk to him like I'm talking to you
Hmm.
every day.
Hmm.
Every day. Um, my faith has to stay strong because a lot of times I feel like that's all I have.
Hmm.
You know.
And
So
sometimes that's
yeah.
all you need.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
all
That's
you
all I have.
need.
I say, "Okay, Lord, I know you said I gotta have faith more than a mustard seed or the size of a mustard seed. My faith is a little bit more, so work with me." You said
I
faith
say
without works is you said
faith
faith
is
without works
is a
is dead.
muscle that you have to exercise to
Yes.
make greater. It's like
Mm,
it's your spiritual muscle. You got to exercise it to make it
yes.
get bigger, to make it get
Yes.
greater. I said that. Ooh, I said that last night, this morning.
Huh.
I told
I,
somebody that's what faith is.
I said, listen now, you said faith without works is dead. I'm working. Where you at?
Hmm.
Come on
Hmm.
now. So yeah, that's easy. Like I talk to God just like I'm talking to you on the daily because I need him every day.
Family,
Every day.
you
Seriously.
So now we
Hmm.
have the questions, but I want to jump into your book. Pull it up, sip and chat.
Okay.
Now, what inspired you to write your book?
Again, with the podcasting and things like that, my inbox was full, phone jumping. It had gotten to the point to where people were asking for different episodes, like the recording or whatnot. Again, me, I'm not gonna say not being real serious, but me just like not knowing really how it goes, other than me jumping on hitting live or whatnot. I didn't realize that Facebook would delete the videos after so long.
I didn't know that either. That it wasn't always that way.
See, I didn't think so.
It
And
wasn't.
so it got to the point where I was looking for different episodes and they were not there.
Mhm. You have to
So
download them to save them. Mhm.
did not know. And I
Mhm.
lost a lot of footage. I want to say pretty much all of it. Yeah. Um, so my thought was, you know what,
Yeah.
put it in black and white, Shay. Put it in black and white. And that's how Sip and Chat Lounge came about. So it was like a lot of the episodes I put in the book.
Okay.
And again, I, I had no idea. Me? Write a book? Sip and Chat? Podcast? This was all out of my control, like seriously.
Mhm.
And so once the book came out, like I even put like the with their permission, like certain, characters or not characters, but followers,
Mhm.
that was asking different questions and stuff at the time. It's like in the book. I have advertising of small businesses around the
Mm.
city,
Mhm.
in the book. So it'll start off and I'm, giving a shout out to, this business or that
Mhm.
business,
Mhm.
and things like that. Because again, we are known to be crabs in a barrel. I didn't want that. So because this was huge for me to write a book, how cool is it to see your name in someone's book? So that was, my thought. It's been doing amazing on Amazon. It has been 5 stars for almost 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Almost 2 years. So yes, for anybody that's interested, you can go to Amazon and it is called Sip and Chat Lounge by Shay Parker.
All right. Do you wanna do another one?
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
what you wanna put
indeed.
in that one?
We'll see.
I like that. I
Yes.
like that.
Yes, we shall see. Yeah, this was good. It's good. It's gonna be good. Yeah.
What do you
Yes, I
want
do.
more of in your life? What's the thing that you have in your life? Like, you know what? I just want a little bit more. I mean, not besides everybody could use a little more money, but
Mhm.
like what's the one thing that you have it, you love it, but you just would like a little more of it? That's all. Isn't that a song? I like it. I love it. I want some more of yeah.
Um, I would say traveling.
Hmm.
I would say traveling. I want a little bit more of that.
Favorite place you've been?
Favorite place that I've been. Uh, I'll say New York.
It's on my bucket list. I haven't
New
gone.
York. And listen, when you get there, you got to go to Manhattan. Thank me later. Gotta go to Manhattan. Yes.
That's on my bucket list. That's on my bucket
Mhm.
list. Arizona and Europe. But here's the funny part. I want to go to Europe, but I want to do like the geeky part of Europe. Like I want to go to London and go
Mm.
to Poets Corner and see the grave of Thomas a Becket and things like that. All the stuff we learned about. I learned
Oh,
about it Saginaw High. Like we in class and we read, and like, oh, and it's still there. And I want to go to here, and I want to go to Canterbury Cathedral and
oh
Parliament.
man.
I want to do the geeky things, and I want to go to the Irish countryside and drink a pint or something. My daughter went to Ireland last year, and she says, "Mom, it's so beautiful here." And the thing that blew her mind was because in Ireland you can't build houses along the shoreline.
Okay.
You can't build it overlooking the ocean. And she was near waterfalls and ocean and mountainside. And she said they have all this beautiful land and we
Hmm.
didn't have to pay to see it. Like in America, you pay to go to a national park. You got to pay to go look at the ocean, pay to.
For
She's like,
everything.
right. She said, it's here. That's nature. Why
Mhm.
are we paying to go see nature? So she went to Ireland and she loved it. And I was like, okay,
Oh.
I want to go to Europe. I want to go
Mhm.
to Paris. I want to go see the Champs-Élysées and things like that. So that's on my little bucket list. But then I mean locally, I mean, nationally. I want to go to Arizona, look at some mountains and some sand.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is on your bucket list besides traveling? What's the one thing you're like, I would love to do that?
What is on my bucket list? Um, I'm afraid of heights. Really, I am. But I think I would really want to what is it called? The zip
Mm-hmm.
what is it called?
Zip line.
Zip line.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I pray to God that ain't be but won't be the reason why I kick over the bucket, but yes, again, and that's another thing of me just trying to face my fears, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Just the simple things. I've had opportunities to go to a lot of places
Mm-hmm.
and I've turned them down just because I'm like, you know, going out the country. I was like, Lord, what if I get stuck? You know what I'm saying? Like that
Right.
thinking that have kept me away from so
Mm-hmm.
much. And to be
Mm-hmm.
able to unlock that side of me
Mm-hmm.
to go out there and explore and just have a good time and not, think about the what ifs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that'll be great.
It is something to think about. I went to what year is this? 2025. I went in 2024. Yeah, last year. I went to okay, Shay, I've crashed class reunions. I've crashed a few. I think
What
I've
you
crashed like
mean?
not my class, but I show up at the reunion. Um I crashed class 89, second high class. I crashed theirs twice. Um my little brother, I crashed it in Miami. I crashed it in Punta Cana. And we did zip lining. We went zip lining in the jungle.
Oh wow.
And the funny part was we didn't realize well, we're doing it because it's fun. You got 6 different stations that you zip line to, and you zip line from one station to the next. They're like towers. Then you had to walk down the stairs and walk across the field and walk up, to the next tower. Well, at a particular point, we walking across the field, and I saw the bulls. When we pull up, the tour bus pull up, and I see the bulls there laying down. And I did not realize in walking through from I think from station 2 to 3, the bulls are in there. I'm in there with the bulls. Put
Oh,
it that way. And you zip line, and you're like, oh, I'm in here with the bulls. And not only thing keeping them from running me over is they just didn't want to. But it was totally
uh-uh.
outstanding.
I'm glad
That
you had a great experience, but you can have it.
outstanding. That was outstanding.
Never
Horseback
forget that.
riding, driving the dune buggies through the river and Punta Cana, and it was just a real. They had a really nice, class reunion.
Oh,
So
that's
I,
dope.
I think they talked about going to Dubai next time. So I'll crash again.
Like,
But
okay, I'm down.
yeah, that's not on my bucket list, but I can understand. You should do it. If you ever go to Vegas, go Fremont. That was the first time I ever zip line because free zip line down Fremont Street, over Fremont Street.
I never even thought about that. And I've been there numerous of times and just never thought about going ziplining there.
I think there's one down here in the Detroit area. There's a zip line park down here.
Mm.
I'll get the information and send it
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. You
Because
might have to go
once you
with
do
me.
it, no problem. It's very exhilarating. Because your
Yes.
nerves are there right when they tell you, lean up here, fall back, and then you're kind of like, oh my God. But then as soon as you go, you do have this overwhelming
It's
freedom. Uh,
calming.
it's very calming. And Punta Cana is different because you had to put, the Dominican men relax my mind. My man. Like, okay. So, what are some of your goals for the next year?
um, moving forward is to within the next year, hopefully the second book will be out. Um, creating ideas for the big comeback of Sip and Chat.
That would be great, 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 great,
Yes, yes,
great,
yes,
great,
yes.
great, great.
So, yeah, within a year, that's my goal.
What do you want to change about yourself? What's the one thing you
Mhm.
want to change about yourself?
The one thing I would want to change about myself is holding myself back, like I just mentioned, with the different, opportunities that I've had to, travel here and travel there and just,
Mhm.
just be free, go experience, enjoy yourself, this, that, and the other. So, Yeah, that's like the number one thing on my list.
I got it. I can
Mhm.
understand. Now, what's the thing about yourself you hope never changes?
My love, my
Ah,
love, my love, my love, my love, my love. Um, it's a healer, not only for me, but for others. It's a powerful thing, and I have witnessed that.
mhm.
So yeah.
What
Mhm.
would you say is your well, this kind of leads into it. What would you say is your gift?
Ooh, my gift is I can read people to where it's almost scary. Yeah. Um, just being there for others.
Mhm.
Um, so much so to where I could walk in the grocery store and the cashier just start telling me about, oh my God, I just left my husband last night and this, that, and the other.
I
And
can,
I'm,
yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
like, you know,
Yeah, I
let's
know.
go into this whole
Mhm.
life coach session.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
line building up in the back, and she don't want to,
Mhm.
cash me
Mhm.
out because she's interested in what I have to say and things like that. So, um, it could be overwhelming at times, but I really enjoy that gift that I have.
Mhm. What
You
made
know
you get into life coaching?
that that the gift of being able to talk people off ledge.
Mm.
I've dealt with troubled teens for on 10 years. I don't know how many years, working in juvenile facilities and,
Mhm.
things like that. And so
Mhm.
it just came natural. People would, when they would ask, what do I do? And I would tell them about the troubled teens. They were like, ain't no way. I could never, this, that, and the
I
other.
did it.
And I
I
get
did
it.
it.
I
Mhm.
understand why they would feel that way. But when you have the gift and you have the
Mhm.
heart to do that, it's nothing. I was never disrespected. I was never in harm's way. I've seen it. I've seen it a lot, but the respect that those kids had for me was unbelievable. So yeah,
Really? Yeah,
yeah.
I used to work at a maximum security juvenile facility. I won't say the name, but I've had that. I had a kid. He
Mhm.
was so ever so calm, and he said, "I'm making a shank to shank you." He
That's
meant it.
how it goes. I mean, I'm
He
looking
meant
like,
it.
what? But that's how it
And I had
goes.
another kid curse me out. It's funny, but it's not funny. It is. He was cursing me out, but he stuttered. So I was like, he was like, "Shut up, bitch, 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 bitch." I was like, "Look, I ain't gonna be too many more bitches. Yeah, I get you stutter, but
That
I,
was the funny part. You're gonna say, I
that
get you
was,
stuck, but hey.
but you don't have to, He was like, "Shut up, bitch, bitch, bitch." I was like, "Yeah, gonna circle him up."
Mhm.
It was just getting worse and worse.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
was just like, but it is, what the interesting part about that was? I was just telling my mentor this at work, about working in a facility such as that. You hear, a lot of times I did not want to read what their crime was. I did not want to know. My job was there to just kind of like teach them and things like that.
Same.
And when I found out some of the things they had done, I was
Jaw
as-
dropping. Yeah.
astounded.
Yes.
But they were kids still to
Yes.
me. They were
Mhm.
still kids, and then, they would have these outbursts and, where they're just, on
And the
10.
trauma was through the roof.
It is,
Yeah.
but to calm them down, you can get out some crayons and a coloring book, and they would color and calm down because at the very core, they're still children. They were still
Mhm.
children, so
Yeah.
that was a good time and a bad time at the same time.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I have some horror stories, but
It
nothing
is.
like against me. And I like I
Yeah.
said, I was blessed because for me to have been in that environment for years, and I would get
Yeah.
up and love to go to work. You
Mhm.
know, I would say
Mhm.
things like I said, I can read a person. Something would come to me about this child. I'll sit and talk to them in a very professional way, and they looking at me like, "How did you know?"
Yeah.
So the walls come down, and now
Yeah.
they feel like, I can talk to Parker. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then there was a relationship that was built from that. And it's usually the worst of the worst that nobody want to deal with.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's a precious gift to have.
It
I'm
is.
grateful.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
Mhm.
So, because you and I have talked about this offline, dating. We talked
Mhm.
about dating and, the things men say and do. What is your deal breaker and what is the thing that is your must have? He must have, and what is your thing that he cannot have?
He cannot be disrespectful
Mhm. Now,
on
what does
any
disrespectful look like to you?
the way he speaks to me,
Okay.
uh the way he would interact with my children.
Mhm.
Um
Is it tone or words with the disrespect?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Tone is everything. Sometimes tone is just as worse as the words and vice versa. So
Mhm.
those two kind of like, go hand in hand. Um, because and to be disrespectful on that level, that also tells me that you don't have any self-control, you know. So it's telling me a lot about I'm saying the disrespect, that's one thing, but there are a lot of different branches that come out of that,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
And so when you knock that out, you knocking out like a whole village of issues.
Mhm.
So that's an absolute no. What I have to have is maturity.
And what does that look like to you?
Maturity looks like when you say you love me, it's not just because of the superficial things. When sh- I need you to love me when it's hard and understand why it's hard. And that way, you can love me. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, not because everything is going good or, man, you looking good. Oh, I love you, this, that, and the other. Like, what about the days when I don't want to be bothered?
Mhm.
And you feeling some type of way, you internalizing it, like it's against you when I just really nothing to do with you, just having a bad day and you being able to pick up on that and say,
Mhm.
do you need anything? You just
Mhm.
need this space. Okay, things like that,
Mhm.
you
My
know.
baby brother told me that I said this on a few episodes where he says if you ask a person what do you love about me, if they can list it, then that's a problem because you need to be able to love the person when it's gone. If you can say, "Oh, I just love the way you talk, I love your shape, I love your hair," but if you go bald or gain weight or you lose your
Yeah.
voice, your ability to speak, then what do you have? Do
What do
you
you
still
have?
love that person?
Hmm.
After whatever it is that you loved about them has gone and as people get older because I know I'm in my 50s. I'm a
Hmm.
senior of society and I know and some of these men are too.
Hmm.
They're
Hmm.
seniors of society and the things that were once a priority, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it's not that anymore. Like, health is taking over and life is
Hmm.
life. And then you at this point in our age, I don't know how young are you, if you don't mind saying?
I'm 47.
Okay, 47. So yeah, so you're
Hmm.
in the age range where men, potential dating partners are probably grandfathers and have older children and things like that.
Hmm.
Um those are the things you have to consider now
Yeah.
because I said in my interview with Larissa, woo, Shay, the thing, for whatever reason, this podcast was made for women, but I get more feedback from men.
Hmm.
The men talk to me, I guess they feel it's a safe space with me because they will message me and call me and text me and hey, I want to tell you this, or Alyssa, why did this happen, or I'm dating somebody, or my wife did this, or this lady trying to talk to me at work, was she flirting, or was that just something she said? And I don't know why men just feel like they want to talk to me, tell me their
Hmm.
stuff, but uh, in the conversations, they've told me some of their deal breakers where I'm
Hmm.
like, what? And there is a different perspective they have where and that's the reason why I started my podcast. Conversations need to be had
Hmm.
from men to women,
Hmm.
but they're not having them. Men have them with each other. Women, we have our conversations, but we can have our conversations with the men or partners or potential partners. Men don't.
Hmm.
So I kind of became a mouthpiece to them, and talking and whatever.
I think
So
that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, so the must have is with your children. be
Mhm.
able to engage with them. How long do you wait before you allow, or what in your mind is a good time frame before your date someone you're dating meets your children?
I would say I've always said a year.
Mm.
I've always said a year before I would allow for that to happen
And the reason behind it?
because I need to know what I need to know before I introduce you to the nest. I mean, all that surface stuff is cool. I need to know what you look like when you're angry. I need to know your mindset when, you're upset and when you're not having your
When you're
way.
tired.
Yeah, I need to check some things out because my kids are they're my everything. And then, they're grown now,
Yeah.
so they have their feelings and, that can be a disaster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, this person may be able to pull out something in my kids that I ain't never seen before because they're angry at, a tone or choice of words or, so yeah, that's very important.
Not relating to dating or anything. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is hmm, that's a good question. The typical is coming to me like death and not necessarily fearing death, but my kids not having me.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Oh, no.
saying?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely.
Oh, I know. So I
Absolutely.
think that's the biggest. And again, it's not death itself because we all gotta,
Right.
face that road. Is
100% people die.
yeah, yep. It's my kids.
I tell my children that now. I say I have my one main job right now in life is to teach you all how to live when I am dead.
Yes,
That's my
yes,
one goal. I want them
that's
to be able to
cute.
problem solve, to identify a problem, to judge characters,
All of that.
uh, all of it. To manage your
Mhm.
money.
Please. And your time. And your time.
Yes.
Learn time
Manage your
management.
money so
Yes.
that you don't get disciplined. I told my mom and somebody else that a good friend of mine, I said, here is the thing. Because we were talking about God's discipline, but always say, if in your life, if at any point it's uncomfortable, it's one of the three P's. God's either protecting you, he's either punishing you, or he's preparing you. So I
Mhm.
said, but when you being punished, you know almost immediately. At one point, Shay, God was he was disciplined, punishing me because I was wasting my money. God was
Mhm.
blessing me financially, and I was giving it away. It was my tailspin after the divorce. I'm dating,
Oh, gotcha.
giving my money away to men,
Mhm.
and God said, well, you know what? Since you don't appreciate them blessings and you want to be a lender, let me show you what it feel like to be a borrower. You
Wow.
like giving money? Let me show you what it feel like to want to beg for money. So that was my thing. Like, oh my God. So my thing is like, teach my kids be good with your money
Mm-hmm.
because
Good
one
steward.
one one
Yes.
pick one of them getting the lesson. The other one, like, money is never ending.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh,
There
just
you
get some
go.
more. Just get
Mm-hmm.
some more. So do I have another question on here? Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
Did I get out other questions? No. What's something you want to do with your podcast that you haven't done? That wasn't even on the list, but I just
What's
want to know.
something that I want to do that I have not done?
What's your
Um,
what's your biggest dream of where you want to take your podcast? Where could it go? Where you want it to go?
now my biggest dream now I could, do for a little studio,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
right,
Kind of,
right.
that Oprah level. I got a lot of confidence that I definitely can handle it. So that's
Mhm.
my biggest dream. But to do something I never had, like TikTok, where you have the panel, because when I was doing it
Oh,
over on Facebook, I would have my main viewers that was some heavy hitters. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And to be able to have a panel of discussion, Yeah,
I've
that'll be
seen
great.
that. I
Mhm.
think there's one that keeps coming through my timeline where it's a group of men trying to find a wife, I think it is. And I
Mhm.
watched it for a little bit, and every now and again they have like women come on and they have a discussion with women, and then she come on, and then they have another woman come on and ask them what they're looking for, and they have the men's perspective of whatever it is that the woman's saying. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I've never done it. I'm fearful. I'm fearful about you know
Internet dating.
Oh, no, I definitely am fearful of that. Because if it's a out there, that joker go find me. If it's a Dateline episode, a CSI,
Yeah.
SVU episode waiting to happen, let me get a profile. He gonna be like, here she is.
Yeah, that
I
part.
think, yeah, I'm fearful of going all in. Probably even with my podcast.
Mhm.
I'm still very edited, very redacted, in TikTok because I look at your content on TikTok like, oh my god, how you post and it's so
What?
pretty and it's frequent. Yes, and
I
you
didn't
have
think I
always
was
have.
doing enough.
Oh my gosh, wonderful, and the music
Thank you.
always goes with the tone of the photo
Oh,
or
thank you
the
so much.
video. And I was
Thank you
like,
for that feedback.
I would love to do that. I'm still kind of fearful of criticism to a point. Then sometimes it depends on what mood I'm in. Like, I don't care. But you know,
Ah, oh my
I,
goodness, thank you so much. Like, yeah, I
TikTok.
just felt like I wasn't doing enough. Like, yeah, I just get a picture, post or whatever. I'm a music lover, so what you
Mhm.
feel is real because I'm feeling whatever that song is, at the time, whether it's a
Yeah,
video or if it's a picture that's behind it. So that's definitely heartfelt. That's real. I'm not just trying to put something together to put out there. And so I'm connected to whatever the music is. So, it's
yeah.
easy to feel that. But at the same time, I'm looking at everybody else thinking like, I'm just a little amateur on here trying to. So that was great feedback. I really appreciate that. Thank you
I
so much.
love it. I would
Thank
love to
you.
get there. I'm not there. Every now and again, get a little bug and do something, but I would love to because
Oh,
it's like, oh,
you got to get there. Will sooner than later.
yeah,
I'll help you.
wow. Thank you.
I'll help you. Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
indeed.
What are you most proud of about yourself?
Oh my goodness. I am so proud of the woman that I have become through all the obstacles that I had to face. If anyone had told me years ago the things that would have come up against me, I would not have believed it. The
Really?
resilience, yes, the resilience, again, the positive mindset. Like, if I was just to sit here and ran it down to you what I've been through, your jaws would drop.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like even what I'm going through right here in this moment, I don't look like what I've been through. I
'Cause you
don't
look
have,
good.
thank you. I don't have woe is me,
Yeah.
moments. Do I feel that way sometimes? Yes, but I can't go there because I might get stuck.
Yeah.
So there was a time where I was in fetal position way back
Yeah.
then. Why
Child.
me? I'm such a good person.
Child.
Dot, dot, dot,
Mhm.
dot, dot, girl. I would look at
Ma'am.
that person and say, if you're gonna get up
Ma'am.
from that
What was your
couch and
pivot?
quit tripping. Hmm?
What was your pivot moment? The moment that made you go like, "Okay, let me turn," your malleable moment where you reshaped it. Where
My
at that
divorce.
moment you're like, "Okay, I'm from fetal position. Let
After
me
my
stop
divorce.
this."
After my divorce, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm
Yeah.
telling after my divorce, baby, I became the shit.
Mhm.
I had to put my nose to the grind. I'm working two jobs. I was,
Yeah.
going to school and trying to take care of the kids and trying to make sure that their mental was okay
Yeah.
because all they knew was, their parents,
Or
the two
family.
parent home,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
this. I'm juggling so much, but I wouldn't
Mhm.
take it back for nothing in the world.
I know. I
I
get it.
wouldn't take it back for nothing in the world. Just looking
I
back
get
to
it.
see how strong I was at a time when society said you should have broke. At a time when society says that you should have became an alcoholic or you should have turned to drugs and this, that, and the other. Those are my most proudest moments.
Or
You know what I'm saying?
you didn't go into your whole phase like we talked about. You didn't do your whole phase.
Oh, I know, I
You
know, I
didn't
know.
have
I
it.
didn't go into
You
the whole
didn't go
thing.
into the whole phase. I
I
did.
did. I think I would have been a wreck. I think I would, for real, I think that probably would have studied my growth.
It
Seriously.
does, but here's the thing. It is I look at it as you couldn't pay me to learn those lessons. Those lessons were invaluable.
Hmm.
They're lessons from, and I don't mean like just true whole phase, but I mean like the phase where I was trying to rediscover who I was as a woman, and just getting back in the dating pool. And the
Hmm.
last episode I just did, we were talking about the dating pool, got piss in it. But just trying to get back in the dating pool, and just wanting to be desired and wanting to have partnership, and just searching to try and find it, and not knowing that I needed to really find myself.
And
Um,
I'm sorry, I was just
no, go
about to
ahead.
say that I did not have that mindset more so than when I got away, I said, okay, now this is my time. I
Mm.
needed to heal what was
Yes.
broken, excuse me, allow God to heal what was broken
Yes.
inside of me, get to understand me because
Yes.
I was vulnerable. And I
Mhm.
knew if I had invited anybody into my world, I'm serving myself on a silver platter to be more
Yeah.
damaged than I was coming out of a situation. So
That is
that
so
was my
smart.
mindset,
So
so
smart.
I created my own bubble and I demanded peace. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And so that's where I was. Now, did I think about it every now and again? Maybe even toyed with conversation with certain people, but guess what?
Mhm.
Every time the conversation went left, I was like, "Oh, that's it.
Bye.
Mm-mm, nope."
Ah,
Yeah,
nope, not you. Bye.
right, right. So, yeah.
But yeah, it happens. It happened to me, and I know a few other women. It's because you have that feeling like you missed something. Like, okay, let
Yes.
me see what's out here. I missed something because I was in this committed relationship. It's like when I was in therapy, my therapist told me, Alyssa, you married your prince so early in life, you didn't kiss the frogs, but you can ready to
Mhm.
kiss him now. And he
Oh,
was not lying.
see what I'm talking
He
about?
told the
And
truth.
let me say this. I went through that. I went through that whole thing with feeling like I missed out on so
Yeah.
much. And,
Mhm.
man, if I had dated this person or
Mhm.
dated that person and this, that, and the other. But I honestly believe for me,
Mhm.
had I started dating right away, I probably would have ran into a situation I couldn't get out of.
Mhm.
So I was protected
Yeah.
from things that, would probably have been detrimental to me. And I believe that with everything
Yeah.
because I was just so wide open. You know what I'm
Smart.
saying? Like
Mhm.
it was too much. And so I had to do me. I had
Thank
to
God for his
do my
protection.
children.
Mhm.
Yes, 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 yes. Because it wasn't only me, it was my kids as well. And how
Right.
many stories do we have of the mom boyfriend coming in, messing with the kids and this, that,
Right.
and the other. Girl, let me tell
Right.
you, orange don't look at me, don't look good on me.
Right.
But I would have had to put it
So
on.
not
You
the
hear
new
me?
black for you.
Listen, I'm telling you, 90 years with no tears behind mine. So I
Yeah.
like try to avoid all of
Yeah.
those things. And so I mean it just it worked out. It worked out
And
for
that was
me.
the one thing even with me not knowing who I was, that was the one thing I still maintained of no one had access to my children. My
Hmm.
children were off limits. You
Yeah.
don't meet them, you don't see them. I dated one guy and then he met the kids and I think it was years before they met another one.
Hmm.
And that was just it. That
Yeah.
was just my thing. And
It's
and
very
and it wasn't
important.
even about necessarily about worrying about them being abused. It was my take on it was I'm making this choice to have this person in my life. The kids didn't.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
if they like them or if they don't like them, it wasn't their choosing. They have no decision making power in what's happening in their life.
Hmm.
So if I ever get to a point, be safe, babe, love you. If that I ever get to a point where I don't want them in my life, now the kids have lost someone that they love,
Hmm.
or if it's someone that I don't really want in my life, but the kids are stuck with someone in their life. So it was
Yep.
like you said, a year. I think it was some years went by
Hmm.
before they met my
Hmm.
children. They were just completely off limits.
Yeah.
So that was just what's this the last question. I promise. I promise.
Okay.
What's the goodest, I can't believe I said that. What's the best thing about being you right now?
The best thing about being me is that I'm free from a lot of negativity.
Hmm.
Um, the best thing about being me is that I have an amazing look on life.
Yeah.
Um, the top of my list is that I'm not mind sick. I'm
Mm,
mentally healthy.
that's a
I'm
big one.
mentally healthy.
That's a
And
big one. I like that
so
mindset.
yes, yes. And we're living in the days where people don't believe in seeking help,
Mm,
and they're dealing with things from however many relationships ago and childhood trauma and things like that, and they talking about some they
yes.
single and ready to mingle and bringing all that yeah, nah.
Luggage.
And yes, and again, no judgment zone, because that could have been me, but
Mhm.
recognizing the fact that I'm not mind sick, and that I do have a healthy way of thinking means
Yeah.
everything to me. So yeah.
Shay, it's been a pleasure. Sip and
Yeah.
Chat,
Yeah.
the book. It is available on Amazon. There it
Available on
is.
Amazon, y'all. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee you. And I
I
promise
have
you,
to get it.
you will learn some things. So it's not just entertainment. I guarantee you, on one of them chapters, you're going to learn some things. And that's another thing, talking about the chapters. You don't have to read from beginning to the end. Just go to the table of contents and see what topic you want to hit first.
It's not an ever flowing story. It is
Come on.
what you need. That's what
Yes.
you need for at the moment. I love
Hmm.
that.
Yes. It's
Very
a lesson
good.
after every topic.
I love that.
Thank
All
you.
right. No, thank you. This was
Yes.
so overdue. I'm so glad you took the time. I didn't mean to hold you here for an hour and
I know
16,
you're fine.
17. But this has been awesome. I appreciate
Thank
you being my
you.
first guest on Conversations with Alyssa, because
Thank
I'm
you for
Alyssa.
having me.
My pleasure. So let me
Yes.
get ready to close this out.
Okay.
Thank you. I want to thank Shay Parker for being my guest author of
Mhm.
Sip and Chat. She's also the host of the Sip and Chat podcast on Facebook. Right now it's on hiatus, but it will be back. So I
Mhm.
appreciate it. This is Conversations with Alyssa. This is the new name. It used to be Dick and Conversations, but I mean, hey, it's still Dick and Conversations on some stuff. But Conversations with Alyssa, you can hear me on Amazon, iHeart, Pandora, Spotify, and YouTube. So like, subscribe, and
Right.
share. And I appreciate it, Shay. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
All
You're
right.
so
And
welcome.
I'll see you next time. So let me just close this out to stop the recording.
All right.